Hello YouTube friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria. I'm so happy that you chose to stop by today. So today's video I'm going to show you step by step on how I painted my kitchen tile. I hope you enjoyed this video. Alright guys, so I've been wanting to paint this kitchen tile from the moment that I moved in, which was about a little bit over a year ago. Because this kitchen is a small size kitchen, I wanted to give it the illusion that it was a little bit bigger. So I had to choose a color to do that. And of course it is the color white. So the first thing I had to do was to clear out my kitchen counters and start prepping. So I added paper everywhere that I did not want to get any primer or paint on it. Now this is the primer that I chose to go with. So the first thing I needed to do was to start sanding down the tile. As you can see there, I went ahead and added primer. When I realized what I have done, I quickly stopped and started sanding it down. I used a 120 grit sandpaper. Now this tile is almost a concrete feel to it, or it has a concrete feel to it. So it wasn't really as bad, sanding it down. I believe I went like maybe a couple of times over it, and that was good enough. So now that I sand down all the tile, now I'm just gonna wipe down all of the dust, and I just simply use soap and water. Okay guys, so here's a quick tip. 3 major things. You want to make sure that you're wearing goggles because you want to protect your eyes from any dust. Also, you want to make sure that you're wearing a mask because you do not want to be breathing any of pesticides that might be lurking in the tile. And you want the area that you're working in to be well ventilated. So now that I wiped down the tile, I'm going to add the first layer of primer. Now in the instruction it says that to do it in a sweeping motion and to spray about 10 to 12 inches away. So also that to give it about 2 to 48 hours for it to dry before I add the second layer. But I just went ahead and let it dry overnight before I added the second layer. If you're wondering why is the camera moving back and forth with me, is because the kitchen is small, and if I would have put the camera behind me, you would have just seen my back. So I was holding the camera on one hand and spraying on the other with the other. Okay guys, I have a confession. When I started laying the first primer, I stood back and I was freaking out because I did not know how this was going to turn out to be. I was like, oh my Lord Jesus. But I said, heck with it. I'm going to continue and hope for the best. Now, after the second layer, I started visualizing a little bit more of how it was all going to turn out, and I did start liking it a little bit more, of course. Now the color of paint that I chose to go with was now sorry if I butcher this word, but I believe it is pronounced de jour, and that was the color that I chose. I loved because it was a very bright white. So as you can see here, I am adding the first layer of paint, and of course I let it dry overnight before I chose to go with the second layer. I'm not sure if I share this with you, but I have quite a few little small projects for this kitchen, and I just can't wait to share those with you as well. Now, I went ahead and gave it the second coat. I waited 2 hours for it to completely dry, and of course I started removing the tape, and to my luck some of the paint did come off, but that was okay because there were small little patches here and there, 3 to be exact, 3 small little spots as you can see here, and I just waited for it to completely dry, went back in there and just gave it little touch-ups, and that was fine. It was not that big of an issue. So this is the seal that I use, and it says that you're supposed to give it between 2 to 4 coats, but I just gave it 2 because since I'm not even planning to touch this wall, I was fine with just 2. Now, I did wait for them to dry in between before I went in with the second. And after the following day, I came back and I loved how my kitchen looks now. I love that it's white. I no longer have to see that brown tile anymore. So I am excited with it, with the results. And yeah, it was easy. I thought it was going to be difficult, but of course it wasn't. Now I'm going to show you the before and after, and you'll see for yourself. I hope that I inspired you to maybe try this out on your kitchen if you don't like the background or the tile. So even if not the tile on your wall, it can be the tile on your floor. Just do read the instructions, because if you're going to be doing some walking on it, or it's totally different than from the wall that is just on the tile that is on your wall. Well, guys, this is all I'm about to wrap this up. And thank you so much for stopping by. I really am glad that you chose to do so. And until next time, my friends, stay safe, be kind. Bye.